Very, very, very good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group having offices in India, Singapore, and Hong Kong. We are having our own prop hedge fund, which means this hedge fund would only be for hours. Apart from that, we have our learning arm, Sheetal Academy, trainings, consulting, and so many things. If you wish to have any information about our products and services, you can WhatsApp on my personal number, which is +91 9899242978, or you can also WhatsApp on our back office, which is +91 9818485155. Life is really very interesting, and especially when the things are interrelated with each other, and you need to spot on that interrelation. Sometimes the spot on of the interrelation are easy, and sometimes the spot on of the interrelation is really very, very, very tough. You know that Treasury Consulting having a crypto desk, but this crypto desk is not for public. No one can enter. We have our learnings academy in crypto. You can join that. If you wish to have information, you can WhatsApp me. And you know that from the last 2-3 months, to be honest, there is a great volatility which is happening in the crypto. And this volatility credited to Mr. Hype, none other than Elon Musk, the man who gives super hypes to the cryptocurrency. Sometimes doggy coin, sometimes baby doggy coin. Now he is before baby doggy coin. Sometimes Bitcoin, sometimes Ether and all. That's a separate thing that we do our research and take position. We are not worried what he is talking, because I strongly feel that he is talking on somebody's instruction. Because the kind of cryptocurrency he is supporting, I don't think there is any relevant for them. And this week, Soros, one of the legendary investors, he said that his office is tracking crypto since 2018 and he is ready to start his investments in the Bitcoin. It's really very, very interesting in the sense, like, as we speak, the big banks like Goldman, JP Morgan, they already having their own crypto desk. In fact, why Goldman and JP, most of the top banks of the globe are having their trading desk. But the question is now the Soros is also entering. So that would really be interesting, to be honest. And one side we have China, who is trying to crack the Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrency, and their logic is very clear, is that it is having deep and denting environmental impact. That's really very interesting, because how much greenhouse gases China every year sparing in the environment, if we take that number, what the hell is the environmental impact? So we all know China very well. To prove the point, I collated the data, because I always speak with data, and I believe that data is always very important, because if you speak with the data, then you are able to prove your point. I went through internet, and after hard work, I got the data from CNBC, an article from CNBC which claims that in 2019, the total power consumption in China is around 7.23 trillion kilowatt hours. So in 2019, the total power consumption in China is around 7.23 trillion kilowatt hours. And the same article does suggest that in 2020, the growth is around 10%, which means that around 8 trillion kilowatt hours. I converted 8 trillion kilowatt to 8 to terawatt, and I got 80,000 terawatt per hour per year, which means that the total the total energy consumption in China is around 80,000 terawatt per hour per year. Very good. Then I got another article. This article suggests that there is a report by Galaxy Digital which is confirmed by International Energy Agency IEA. It confirms that the total energy consumption in the Bitcoin network is around 113, which is 113.89 precisely terawatt per hour per year. And in banking services is around 263.72 terawatt per hour per year, and in gold mining it is around 240. So around 600, you can say, Bitcoin plus banking plus gold mining. Okay, I repeat because my concentration is on the Bitcoin, so I'm not worried about banking and gold mining as yet. So I speak that, I again repeat, for Bitcoin it is 113.89 terawatt per hour per year. Very good. So I use the simple mathematics. The per year energy consumption for 2020 is around 80,000 terawatt per hour per year. I took this as a denominator, take 113.89 as a denominator, and I got an answer 0.14. But the kind of noise which we are getting in the media, and especially the noise which is created by the China, the noise is that they are trying to clamp Bitcoin only because they feel that the Bitcoin is having a huge energy requirements. But the number in the public space is talking completely different story. So example, somebody having an annual expenditure of $80,000, assuming, out of which just $114. So out of $80,000, $114 belongs to an expenditure which could be avoided. Take it simplistically. Then 114 divided by 80,000. So the first notion with China is saying that they are trying to clamp Bitcoin because of energy consumption. That is completely incorrect. Number one. But now there is a new drama which is set to happen in the world of energy market in relation with the Bitcoin. Now what is this drama? This drama is natural gas. I'm having a deep interest in the gases, petrochemical sector. As and when I get time, I continue to read a lot of things about petrochemical and the gas sector. If God is kind, then maybe before I die, I love to have my small petrochemical setup very soon. When we process the petrochemical products and sometimes we take the gas out of the earth, there is some unwanted element in that extraction. We cannot store these unwanted element. It is not that we cannot store this, we can store this, but you know that people don't want it to store because they feel that if they store it is subject to a cost which is known as the carry cost. So they burn this in the air. So guys, if you've been through any petrochemical refinery worldwide, or if you saw any petrochemical refinery in any of the movies or internet or wherever, you would get to know there is a big pipe, and out of this pipe gas is burning in the air. This gas is regularly consuming the oxygen, and not only it does consume the oxygen, it spares out the carbon dioxide into the system. And this is one of the reasons of the increase in the environmental temperature worldwide. As we speak, Canada, US, and many countries of the globe are facing the heat waves. According to many articles, thousands of people being died worldwide because of heat waves. Antarctica, the glaciers are melting and so on and so forth. But I'm not discussing about heat waves in this video. What I'm going to be discussing is that the gas which is being flared out in the environment, also known as natural gas, also known as gas flaring. Like, let me explain. Gas flaring refers to a combustion of associated gas during various processes, including oil and gas recovery, petrochemical process, and the landfill gas extraction. Now, what the fancy idea, the cryptocurrency is trying to produce is that the fancy idea they would be using this gas as a source of energy. Now, I tried Google, tried very hard to get to know how much gas, how much energy equivalent to the gas flaring is released into the environment every year. But unfortunately, in the due time, I not got any information. Probably I will try again tomorrow. Now the cryptocurrency is saying that they would be using the natural gas flaring as a source of energy. So this flaring will go to the computers and the computers will generate energy which will increase the mining of the cryptocurrency. Very good. Good idea. I hope we not forget it that few months ago Robinhood along with Reddit create a spike in the silver. It was around 24 and silver went to 32, which is 8 big figures. 8 big figures, guys. And what had happened afterwards, everyone know. Thousands of people lost and so on and so forth. This is yet another fancy idea which we are creating. I doubt whether we have proper infrastructure in place to convert the flare into energy and using that energy to create a Bitcoin mining. But unfortunately, when I was looking at the Bloomberg article today, I really feel sad to say that these questions were not asked. Rather, this video was trying to promote that this is a very decent and fancy idea. What would happen, guys? I don't know whether Bitcoin will go to 40,000, 50,000, I don't know. But one thing is sure that the natural gas, 2 weeks ago, it was around $3 per MMBTU. I don't know, you know or not, but natural gas is always valued in MMBTU. Natural gas, which used to be at MMBTU, around 3 MMBTU, is around 3.75 per MMBTU, which means that 75 big figures up. Probably after this news, we may see natural gas at 5 or 6 MMBTU, which is good for the world. Some countries, bad for the world, some countries. This is part 1. We would definitely have more discussions in the part 2 because some research is pending and I'm looking for some more concrete data to have part 2. But one thing is very clear, guys. The Chinese statement that they are clamping cryptocurrency only because of energy consumption is no longer true, because out of 80,000 terawatt per hour per year, the Bitcoin network worldwide using 113.89 terawatt per hour per year, which is around 0.14%. Have a great time ahead.